Welcome again here, first Sunday, Homewood, Illinois, to the public addresses of Imam W. Dean Mohammed. Before I introduce him, let me mention that in the last month since his last address here, we have had several very important and successful meetings in Detroit, Michigan, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, at several colleges and universities throughout the United States, New Jersey, Michigan, North Carolina, many places. Imam has been traveling and delivering his inspired and important message to literally thousands and thousands of people. We thank Allah that He has given Imam the energy and the commitment to continue his work to its completion. With that, I'm not going to delay. I'll just say that we are living now in a time of great, tremendous opportunity for progress, for growth. But in order to take advantage of that opportunity, we need leadership. We need focused, committed, clear, honest leadership with integrity that leads us into the life that our souls have demanded, prayed for. This is the man who will lead us in that time of great opportunity, in this time of great opportunity. Our leader and the son of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Imam W. Dean Mohammed.
Thank you. Allahu Akbar, God is greater than everything. Our greeting is peace be unto you. Assalamu alaikum. With God's name, the merciful benefactor, the merciful redeemer, we are pleased to be here again on this first Sunday of the month for this community address. We are addressing our life in community. We witness that Muhammad, to whom the Quran was revealed, is a model of the excellent human life that Allah created when He created Adam. And Adam was deceived or seduced out of his excellent life by the enemy of all mankind, as it is written in the Quran, whose name in Christian language is Satan, and in our language, Shaitan, the same name. Satan and Shaitan, same. It's really the mercy of God that anyone on earth in these times have their good human life that God created them for. Most of the people can't survive. There are many influences and happenings that are occurring everywhere to take your mind in every direction except in the direction of righteousness. And we know that what Adam lost was his righteousness, his natural righteousness. Natural righteousness. By natural, we mean belonging to human nature. God has not ordered anything for us that He didn't create us for. Whatever He ordered for us is what He created us for. That's why the beginning of this story of man's trials, his ups and downs, his ins and outs, began with Adam, a first man. And that man in Christian language, in Jewish language, in Muslim language, in Islamic knowledge, Christian knowledge, Jewish knowledge. That man was an excellent model for all human beings until he was deceived and lost that excellence that God created him for. In order to be successful in life as a human being, some people don't care. Well, for them, they can be dogs, snakes, pigs. They have their freedom to be whatever they want to be. God didn't fix us so that we can't choose something bad. He gave us free choice. He gave us a mind to think for ourselves. And if we want to think out of the good life that God created us for, we can do that. If I was in control of the media, radio, television, movies, records, and record industry, I would never support people barking like dogs to say that we're dogs. That's what they're saying when they bark like dogs. Whether they know it or not, they're saying we're dogs. And you remember the expression years ago, some of you my age, a little younger, a little older than I'm looking at right now. You remember the expression? Oh, he went to the dogs. Well, that's what the world is telling us now. That the people have gone to the dogs when they have them in movies barking and identifying them by the name dog. It's a very intelligent actor, and I think he got more decency behind his eyes than he got in front of his eyes or in his eyes. Snoop Dogg. Yes, the man has got intelligence. He's not a fool. But look at his name, Snoop Dogg. So you all don't register anything when you see the movies and television, records, got people barking, human beings barking like dogs, and wearing the name dog proudly. You don't register anything? We may not like the criticism of this culture that has come from places like Iran, and other places, identifying our society as a society of dogs. We may not like it, but isn't that what we are saying? We're saying we're a society of dogs. If you're in touch with your Bible, you will know that people were made to behave as dogs or bark like dogs. They were cursed. They weren't blessed. So Satan has influenced our youngsters and many of our older people to express themselves in certain circumstances of pleasure or amusement, or just meeting each other like as dogs. Behavior of dogs. Not only barking like dogs, but behaving in the public like dogs. When you see a male walking behind a female, holding her around her waist, with his body pressed against her rear as they are walking, that's imitating dogs. And not fine dogs, alley dogs. Yes, that's no joke here, buddy. You can giggle out there, but I want you to know, sometimes I am a person who likes to humor my audience. But this is not to humor you. This is serious, very serious. Walking behind the female girlfriend of maybe his wife, like he's a dog. Like he done locked into her, a dog. Who would believe that we would fall this low? That the American society would fall this low? to have that kind of behavior in the public eyes. And you have been slowly edged on to unconscious behavior. To the majority of you who are really decent in your minds and hearts, you see these things and it doesn't bother, and that doesn't bother you. It should bother you. Every decent human being should be troubled very deeply by a society that boldly displays dog behavior, dog sexuality in the public. It didn't just start. There was a dance called the dog. Do the dog. See, Satan gradually works it up. But you did the dog in a dance hall. You did the dog in some place where you were dancing, in a house or a dance hall somewhere. You didn't do it in the public. When the dog dance was out, they weren't doing it in the public. But they brought it from dancing, doing the dog, to walking down the street doing the dog. Like dogs hooked up. It's a shame. So we don't have to have anybody explain anything to us. The explanation is clear. That somebody doesn't care about how we behave. Somebody have lost their devotion to decency. And these people are not in small places. They're in high places. Now I know what they're doing. Don't think I'm stupid. If I was stupid, I wouldn't be talking. I wouldn't be addressing the subject. No, not the way I address it. No, you can't be stupid and address this subject the way I'm addressing it. So I know that they are bringing out your bad habits, your bad taste for things, and your bad behavior. They're magnifying it to eventually destroy it. I know what they're doing. But those are not angels. Those are devils that's doing that. It's the devil the one who feeds your weaknesses. To magnify the weaknesses and to drive them to their limits. So eventually you'll be punished by your own bad behavior. And your bad behavior will eventually bring you back to your consciousness. Not you individually, but you as a society. Will eventually bring you back to your consciousness. This is not the way of God. This is not the way of the angel. This is the way of the devil. This is the way of Satan. This is the way of Shaitan. This is the way that he discredits human beings. In both scriptures, he challenges the man that God made. And he's working constantly. When I say both scriptures, I mean both the Bible and the Quran, the book of the Muslim and the book of the Christian. Both books have this enemy of mankind from the very beginning of man's life as an intelligent human being, conscious of his creator or conscious of an authority greater than his. This is where it begins, and in the beginning of that history also begins Satan's scheme. Satan's scheme, his plot, to bring man out of the excellent life mold, or life model, or life behavior that he was created for. Why Satan wants him out of that? Satan wants him out of that so Satan can use all of his resources for Satan's cause. He wants all of man's resources for Satan's cause. He wants you to spend your money when he wants you to spend your money. He wants you to spend your money on what he wants you to spend your money on. He wants you to enrich him and leave the world to him. Those who are going to the dogs, they can't be responsible for their families, not to mention the world. And that's what Satan wants. That's what Shaitan wants. He wants to deprive as many as possible of the intelligence to be responsible for human life in your own body, in your own family, and in your own neighborhood, and in your own world. If he can deprive us of that interest, then he will have that interest. Then he will have all of us as his slaves. And look what God says. God says to us in the Quran, and the Bible says it, the Quran just makes it so clear and plain. When Jesus said, I have to be about my Father's business, meaning the Creator's business. And when Jesus said, peace be on him, in the gospel, though we don't follow the version all the way that's in the Bible, we have our own version, the Quran. But I'm quoting the source, because that's where you've got to find what Jesus said to the Christians or whatever in the Christian world, at least in the Christian world. So he also said the sent is not greater than the sender, and he said the servant is not greater than his master. This is Jesus Christ. So, and he was talking to his disciples, his followers. So Jesus Christ identified himself as a servant, and he identified his disciples as servants. If you understand, follow the logic to its conclusion, Jesus Christ is saying that every human being was created to serve God, to be God's servant. In the Arabic language, servant is abd. And Allah says in the Quran, in our holy book, he says, all of you are my servants. Whole of mankind are the servants of God. Meaning that he created us with a nature that required us to find the authority that our life should be given to in obedience. And when we find that, we find the one that we in our own good senses realize as the author, the architect, the builder, the creator of everything in the skies and the natural things in the earth, including us. This is the God that we eventually find. And we don't need a revelation. We don't need to hear any whisper from heavens to send us in that direction looking. God created us with a natural life that looks for that. The natural life looks for that. If you make the natural life unnatural, turn it against its original nature, then it won't look for that. It won't be bothered with that. And then supply it with all the distractions to keep its mind off of its original life and nature, so that it never gets back to that. Look, the average man of common sense, the average woman of decent common sense, even the average child with decent common sense, they fight opposition with greater spirit, with greater force, when they know that the opposition is trying to destroy them, trying to destroy their life in its best picture, trying to take away their excellence, their beauty, their value, their decency, their worth as a created thing. When we know that that threat is on us, we fight better than we ever fought before to save ourselves. But when you don't know your own value, you don't know your own human worth, you've lost even the knowledge of your own human identity, and you're imitating dogs, then there's no chance that you're going to stand up to the enemy. You're going to let the enemy have his way. And the enemy is taking your inheritance from you. God created you for great inheritance. Great inheritance. Every human being is created to support life in his own body, in his own family, and in his own neighborhood, and eventually in his own world. God did not give one of us more than he gave the other when it comes to that responsibility. But if we're ignorant to that responsibility, then we are lost from the human purpose, and we're living a life of self-destruction, and the neighborhood is neglected. The house is neglected. The family is neglected. And even your own self, your own body needs your own mind needs, your own spirit needs, your own soul needs are neglected. And you are going against your own purpose for existence on this earth. And will never reach the future that your Lord Creator created you for until you repent and turn away from the guidance of Satan to the guidance of God. You good Christians, don't just say you're Christians. Learn what a Christian is. Read the gospel. Learn the way of Jesus Christ. Not from Mel Torme. No, I'm sorry. His name is not Mel Torme. Gibson. Not from Mel Gibson. But from the gospel. Learn the values, the morals, the decency, the justice, the kindness, the love, the compassion of Jesus Christ. And know that the gospel says to the Christian that you're supposed to be like Christ-like, like Christ. You're supposed to be in his life. You're supposed to be modeled after his life. Christian means you are being like him. So how are you going to be like him if you don't know him? At least read your gospel to know him better and practice his goodness in your life, and the Satan won't be able to get you. New Muslims, turn to your holy book, the Quran, and the model life of Muhammad the Prophet, that God says of him, he says, anyone who believes in God and the last day will find in him an excellent model. Turn to that book and turn to the one who demonstrated to us how to live that book, and we will be saved. The topic for today is prayer. Prayer in the establishment of human life. Prayer. In our holy book, that's really a repeat of what was revealed before in the Bible. It's a repeat. It repeats it. And a conclusion. It repeats it and then makes a conclusion for the conclusion of the world. Its emphasis, its focus, major focus, is the unity of all people and the oneness of creation under God. That is the unity of matter, the family of planets and stars that all belong to one law, one system, to show us that we, human beings too, are one family. And God created us for a system of human life. And that system of human life is one and the same for you, whether you are an Asian or African or something else, whether you are black or brown or something else, or white or something else. That system is the system that supports all of our human life. It's one human system that all human beings belong to. As the system of matter is one system that all of the stars and planets, and including the earth, belongs to that system, that one system. So this is the religion of unity. The religion is called Tawheed, the religion of oneness and unity in obedience to Creator. This is the religion of Islam. But it's not foreign to Christianity. The community of Muslims is the kindred community, a kindred community with Christianity and Judaism. Some of the learned in our religion have referred to these three communities as the Abrahamic, and another expression is the heavenly communities. What is meant by heavenly? It means that these three religions believe that the life that we live on this earth was revealed to us from heaven. That God in heaven, or the God of the heavens and the earth really, revealed it and sent it down from heaven to us. When we say heaven in Arabic language, it means the skies. Sama means the skies. Samawat, the plural of sama, means the skies. And God says that He sent it down from the skies. From the skies. If you look at the word heaven, traces search its meaning in the English dictionary, you'll see that heaven means elevated, an up, high up place. That's what heaven means. So it means the same as samawat, or skies in Arabic language. Yes. In the Bible, we have the Lord's Prayer, called the Lord's Prayer. It's a very special prayer. It's a prayer revealed to people. God revealed it through Jesus Christ, the Messiah, the Christ. He revealed it through Him. And the prayer goes like this: Thy kingdom come, thy will be done. I'm not giving all of it, because I'm giving only that part that I'm addressing right now. Thy kingdom come. Now we know that's old language that we don't use anymore. You don't speak like that in the streets. Your kingdom come. Thy will be done. Your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. To understand that, we have to understand the thinking in the mind of those who came before Jesus Christ, certainly before Mohammed the prophet, before Moses, before even Noah. There were men called in the Bible, and women, few women too, seers. S-E-E-R-S. Seers. From the word see. Seers. They were called that because they were straining in their minds and in their souls, in their hearts, in their spirit, straining to understand what is truth for human beings, for human life, for human behavior in family, in community, in the world. What is truth? What have we been created for? They didn't have these names that we have now when they began thinking for that purpose. And don't forget, W.E.B. Du Bois said that we will progress. Black political thinker, black philosopher, philosophical thought thinker as well, W.E.B. Du Bois. He said we will progress in the measure that we are willing to teach our children to think. So we're so frightened and so intimidated by what's going on and so overly occupied by the busy things that Satan has created for us. We don't have no time to tell our children anything but behave. Stop. Don't do that. And they've gone so far in their wrong behavior that they don't need to be told to stop behaving. They need to be told to stop thinking the way you're thinking and start thinking for your own good human life. But we're too busy trying to survive another day to give our children that kind of attention that W.E.B. Du Bois wanted us to give them. Now those seers, they were thinkers. Thinking and searching with their thoughts to find how how to best manage my life. Not my life for me, my life for human beings. They were thinking for all of us. And God heard them. God loved them. And he responded to them. And he gave them guidance through their souls, or in their souls, and through their spirit that was for goodness. He guided them and revealed to them the truth and the way. For the truth is the way. The truth of our own existence and how we are to manage our own life. It is the way. There is no way outside of your body. God created the pattern for your body when he created your body. He created the direction for your life when he created human life. That's why Islam is called the religion of the original nature. Deen al-Fitra. Fitratul lati fatara an-nasa alayha. It is the religion of the original nature, the pattern upon which God patterned all civilized societies. And they didn't lose their civilized standards until they left that pattern. Yes. And that brings us back to prayer, where it is said, no people have fallen until they left off their devotion to prayer, abandoned their devotion to prayer. Now, how is it that prayer is going to preserve my original life pattern? The blueprint for me being successful as a human being and as a human people. How is prayer going to help that? Prayer, when it's sincere, prayer when it's offered to a higher authority, not to a popular figure, not to somebody because he's popular, or to something because it excites my imagination, but to the one that I reason to be the creator of everything, the one to whom I owe my own good existence and my own good life and future. That's the one. When we find that one, just that connection alone preserves the pattern for our life, our behavior, our future. It preserves that pattern. Just consciousness and faith in that high authority to whom we owe everything good. Our parents before us, this generation and our children to come, everything we owe to him. Everything that we're able to produce out of the earth, we owe him for that. When we come to that kind of thinking and we pray to that one, we try to remember him. We don't want to forget him. We don't want to go to bed without recalling him and thanking him. We don't want to get up and open our eyes on the world without thanking him. This is your world. We didn't make it for ourselves. We couldn't have created these things. A person like that, keeping in mind that God created, will not lose their excellent human nature and the blueprint for their life and future in that nature made by God himself. He says, remember me and I will remember you. It doesn't mean the way we remember things. It means that if you keep your life for me, I will keep your life for you. Allahu Akbar, God is greater. Oh, he's the greatest, Brother Imam. Not greater, the greatest. Well, that's Trinitarian thinking, and I'm a Muslim. God is greater. Now, whatever you're thinking about, he's greater. This brings us to human rights. The best of life that God created you for is your inheritance. Why do you have to use this language, inheritance? Because the Satan, the enemy of man, he wants to take human beings out of that life so he can have their production. He can have not only their life, but have their production. He's more interested in what you can produce, your production. You go and make a salary, and you don't have any plan for your family that require you to invest some of that money into your family. You go establish a business, you're making thousands, maybe millions in a year, but you don't have any plans to use that money and improve life in your neighborhood, conditions in your neighborhood. You're just making it. Well, there's somebody that has use for it, a plan for it. If you don't wake up to your own value, resources, and where those resources should go. If you don't wake up to it, there's somebody with a plan for it. That's Satan, that's Shaitan. Oh, he talks about the devil like he's real. Not only is he real, but in Islam we're told in our holy book that hell is a reality. To let you know it's no dream. Although you can catch hell while sleeping. But hell is real. And Narul Haq, the hellfire is reality. It's real. That's in Quran, in our holy book. Jesus Christ, peace be on him. I read the gospel. I went to churches and I read the gospel as a young man. When I began to pay attention to what my family expected of me, my father, my mother, my sisters, my brothers. Some of them are here right now, my sisters and brothers. My brother, my sister's not here. I have one sister, she's not here. She's in home, a home for the elderly. And I wish I was with her right now. And I will visit her, I hope, soon. But my brother's here, and I wouldn't be surprised if more than one of my brothers are here. My brother Elijah, I saw him as I was coming in. And I didn't pay no attention as a boy coming up to what they said about me. I just heard it, just smitten my mind and passed right through my mind. I was an obedient child, always. Obedient, very obedient. Not only did I obey my parents, I obeyed my sister. My sister tell me something to do, I obeyed her. If she led me wrong, it was her fault. I was obedient, and she didn't lead me wrong. One time she pulled a trick on me just for fun. She knew how crazy I was about Mama's lemon cream pies. In fact, I got tricked twice. One time she was the cause of me being tricked. Another time I tricked myself. How I tricked myself. My mother would sometimes make the custard, and she would wait till the next day or wait till when she wanted to do it. Then she put the custard in the pie, most likely the next day in the crust, and put it in the oven. And I liked it so much, I looked at the refrigerator and I saw a bowl, and it looked like that custard, lemon cream pie custard. Not that stuff you buy from these fast food places. Not that kind of lemon cream pie. The kind of lemon cream pie you go to Georgia to get. They make it from scratch, and they cook the batter. I mean the custard in a double boiler to keep it from sticking. One pot got the water in it, the other pot sitting in that pot, over that pot, to keep it from sticking. That's the lemon cream pie I'm talking about. Now you know it's good, right? So anyway, I looked in there and I saw this in the bowl. I just grabbed it. It was the fat. from some lamb she had cooked. And she had put turmeric in it or something, I guess. It looked just like lemon cream pie custard. I got my punishment for doing that. Yep, that taste in my mouth sure punished me. But I expected the custard taste, you know? Oh boy, that was punishing. They're like a beautiful, sweet girl, and you say, what have I got myself into? Punishment. Well, anyway, my sister, she knew I liked that custard, knew I liked that lemon cream pie. And she took a spoon and handed me something that looked just like the custard. Now, this was much earlier now. So I'm a teenager now, and I'm still in that custard out of my mother's refrigerator. Trying to, anyway. Thinking I was going to get it. She put the spoon into my mouth, and I'm thinking it's custard. She had to tell me about this because I doubt if I was 3 years old. Probably 2 years old, around that age. She put it into my mouth, and she told me about it more than once. She said, you should see your little face. She frowned up, and it was funny to her, you know. But I was obedient. And she used to tell other people how obedient I was. She said I could tell Wallace to sit over against the wall on the floor. She said he would sit there all day long. So he wouldn't move until I tell him he could move. So obedience was in my nature. God created me with obedience in my nature. Strong obedience in my nature. You all should know your imam. Your imam is a very special guy. And he didn't make himself this way. Left up to me, I'd be with that girl, first girl I fell in love with. I'd be at her house right now. But it ain't left up to me. I have to do what I was created for. Yeah. So anyway, and I want no attention to myself. That's not to make you look at me any differently. No attention to myself. Only to what Allah wants. That's all I want you to see, is what Allah wants for us. Yes. So getting back away from that and back to prayer. So prayer is more than begging God. Prayer is more than responding or acting out of fear or out of even admiration or love or praise for God. Prayer is more than that. Although we know that this is the nature of the human soul to express itself like that, but this nature is put in us to connect us with Creator. And once we connect with Creator, if we are thinking beings, and the Quran puts very, very strong emphasis on thinking. Nothing is stressed more in the Quran than the exercise of the mind. Thinking to find its purpose and its obedience that it was created for. Obedience to its God, its Lord, its Creator. Yes. So prayer is to bring us to eventually see with our minds how we are to identify human life and how we are to protect it for its great future as the inheritor of all that God has created for the good of living things. Yes, God in the Quran, He says, yes, you're going to inherit a garden of paradise. But don't think it's up there only. It says it extends throughout the skies and the earth. Yes, throughout the skies and the earth. Man with his imagination and his hopes, his dreams, have traveled with his thoughts, with his good thoughts, out into space. And if he never thought on space, he would never reach space. But thinking on space enabled him to create things using the power and the tools and the substances God gave us in making the earth. Man got out of the earth those tools, those powers, those substances, and he put it together and made a ship with power to jump up through the spaces of earth, through the skies around the earth, and go beyond the gravity pull or the gravity belt of the earth. Escape it and go out and penetrate the space beyond the gravitation of earth and reach the moon and other bodies up in the sky. Man is only doing what God created him for. Man is only doing what God said he could do. And where is the black leadership? Where is the African leadership? Where is the African American leadership to connect us with that kind of thinking? So that our society of African Americans, our communities of African Americans can be moving in the road of progress for the destiny of man, not just for the destiny of a superfly. He ain't going far. The destiny of a drug pusher, a drug addict, a woman chaser, a lover of big cars, expensive cars, a show-off. What a show-off is diamonds in his long coats. No, his destiny is short. They got a decorated casket for him already. The funeral home man gonna make $50,000 on him because he wants the casket to be bedecked with diamonds, maybe. That's foolishness. God didn't create you to think in those small terms. God created every man, woman, and child to think in big terms. This world is big, and this world engages your mind. It touches your thinking. It touches your thinking, and it causes you to look at it and admire it and think about it. Thy kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. When we look up at the heavens, we see a bigger world than the one we have on earth. We see a world of worlds. We see space that we can't measure. We see distances that we can't reach. We see something that invites our mind to grow, to expand, to think bigger. And we see a great big world of order, of laws, of constant behavior. Not behaviors changing, going from one extreme to another like these fads we live by. You want to cover your nakedness in this season of the fashions? The creators of the fashions. And in another season you want to take everything off. You are modest in one season of the fashion makers, and you are brazen, they're very indecent in another season of the fashion makers. So you're not even having constant morality. Your morality lives and dies, comes in and lives and then is killed for disobedience to God and for shameful behavior. Well, yes. So when the prayer is mentioned as a Lord prayer, give us on this earth as it is in heaven. Thy kingdom come. Meaning give us an establishment on this earth. A way to live with each other on this earth. Like the order and the laws that are constant in the heavens. And the prayer says, that is your will, God. Because you made that up there, and you made this down here. But we have left the order that is universal for the fads that are local and temporary. Huh? So in this time on earth, a preacher that is not preaching the return to the best of human life and not trying to get you to organize and love one another at home and love one another in the neighborhood and support each other in all good doings and be the friend of your brother and sister and your friend, and don't support each other in bad doings and bad behavior just to keep friendship. Don't do that. This time is too critical for any of us to turn our eyes, our attention away from self-destruction. Whether it's in us or in another person or in our neighborhood, it's too critical for us to turn our eyes from self-destruction. And we are going to self-destruction when we let every other neighborhood, Polish, Spanish, Irish, no matter what it is, Jewish, every other neighborhood stands up on its own feet and it supplies its people, the neighbors, with the goods that that particular people are creating or producing. And you come in the African American neighborhood and we're leaving it all to others. This is a shame on our race. How can the African in Africa have any spirit over there to take responsibility for his life and how he's living it when he looks to the greatest country in the world in terms of freedom to produce, freedom to get and have and produce more? This is the greatest country on earth. He looks to the greatest country on earth and he sees his flesh, called African Americans or blacks in America. He sees us in our neighborhood, and we have no more responsibility in our neighborhood than we did on the plantations. The plantation belonged to the slave master, not us. So we couldn't put stores and businesses to serve us on the plantation. Now we're in these cities and our neighborhoods are showing that we are producing nothing. Nothing. We just have a neighborhood to sleep and eat in and have sex in, but leave all the structures to other people. That's got to stop. Even if we have to declare a revolution and start beating and killing blacks in America. And I'm serious, and I might be off the air, but I want you to know I'm a peaceful man. I will search for every other answer. I will search for answers all night and day for weeks and months and years before I shed blood. But I'll tell you the truth, I'm ready to shed blood. I am. I'm ready to kill people for my inheritance. And thank you very much. Peace. Assalamu alaikum. He came up to my hand real slow. I told him, I said, this is a dangerous hand you're shaking. You might lose your job. He's hired downtown. This is my brother, see? I thought I had another brother here. This is my brother Jabber. We all should know Jabber. Jabber Mohammed is here. We thank you. And we have activities. Dinner too, I think. So please enjoy. Do some shopping. That's right. Got excellent clothing. We got beautiful shirts for big guys too. Big guys that you know they got about 3 or 4 average person's weight and just want their weight. That's right. Yeah. So we got those XXXs, whatever they call them. And they are made by members of our community. There's a sister and her daughter. Her daughter is even a senior citizen almost. They both up in age, but they have had a factory now for better than 5 years. and I think been in the business for maybe almost 10 years or more. And they make excellent garments, and they make them for prices that we can afford. So we have excellent shirts, big shirts, and regular size shirts, and I believe they're selling for promotion price right now, $19.95. Leisure suits for $49 something, and a little bigger or a better grade or bigger $59. Around $59, $59.95, something like that. And we have business tie suits imported from Asia, and the price is excellent. Now, if you want the price to go down, I want to help you out. That's not going to happen. This is a promotion price.